So this video is on autism versus alcoholism. Now, I don't have access to, I suppose I probably do have access. There's probably a way with the phone to do it, but I don't have the ability to, so I'll do this in the morning. I'll take some YouTube videos on autism to help explain some of the things that I'm not any good at, not that you guys are listening anyway. Shannon doesn't understand not nearly enough, but also she's an alcoholic, so it makes it difficult for me to even want to talk to her after the third or fourth time trying. Now I'm gonna play for you some of the stuff that she sent me. Now I didn't type nicely to her by this point, so keep that in mind as well. Try not to judge her too much for it because, I mean, really, I didn't type very nicely the things that I had to say. Now, there were things that I tried to explain nicely while I was there, but she just talked over me. The creepy Jason mask. There was a few times where that creepy Jason mask thing was an issue. And for me explaining to her that it's an issue, that it does bug me. You're into death and serial killers, and yeah, that does creep me out. Why don't you understand that? Yes, that does creep me out. Now, I'm going to press this first one, and we're going to listen to it.
Sean, you point out the bad in everything else with everyone else, but you don't see that there's fault in yourself also. It's everybody else. You know, I have a problem, you have a problem, and, you're no saint. But I do care about you, and I really do hope that you find happiness somehow. I don't want to talk anymore about it, but I do care about you, and I hope one day you'll find peace with all this bullshit that you've been through. I do, right? That's all.
And then immediately after, these are on April 26th of this year, by the way.
Okay, Sean, get over the fucking Jason mask. Get over the stupid, trivial bullshit. Alright? It's enough. Enough is enough. Sorry I didn't do what you wanted me to do. I'm sorry I couldn't file police reports when I wasn't there to have witnessed anything to make a police report. If I went into Van Nuys Police Department and tried to file a report, something that happened in Boulder, Colorado, they'd send me on my way. It's impossible, Sean. I don't know what you want me to do. I took a bunch of pictures of things that you wanted me to take pictures of. I've got all that. I don't know what I can do from California. I still don't understand what you need. You know, it's like you get mad at me, and you get mad, and you scream and shout. I just don't know what you need. I don't fucking get it.
So you see how that's Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, literally, she went from she's hoping that I'm happy to that right there. I didn't scream and shout at her the whole time that I was in California. That was after that whole incident at the McDonald's up there in Montana. Now the thing with the creepy Jason mask, it's because it was an issue. I'm not allowed to be freaked out by it. Now, yes, I point out the things that shut me down. There's a reason for that. It's because those things shut me down. Now, as far as her taking those screenshots of the things that I asked her to, she actually didn't. However, she did take some screenshots. That Kara Johnson lady. Shannon's the one that let me know that lady was playing head games with me. That's something she could make a police report about. That's part of the internet bullying, and the people pretending to be my friend who weren't. Shannon is a witness to that. She wasn't in Boulder, Colorado. She doesn't have to be. She took that picture out of a Natalie Bollinger group that I wasn't in. Matter of fact, I wasn't allowed in any of those Natalie Bollinger groups until recently. I didn't stick around long. But that's the thing, is that that's something that not only was she a witness to, but she took part in it. See, that Johnson lady was mad at Shannon for turning me against her. Well, with all due respect, that woman was playing head games. She wasn't just playing them with me, she was also playing them with Miss Shelley. Now, I don't know if Miss Shelley was involved or not. I can't prove that part. But I can prove, because of Shannon, that Kara Miles, Kara Johnson, whatever she wants to go by, was playing head games. She was pretending to be my friend, pretending like she was going to help me, when she had no intention of helping me. She was busy bashing me in these Facebook groups. This is the kind of help that I got. And then Shannon, she can't stay sober long enough to understand that. Yes, Shannon, you were a witness. You did witness it. You took those screenshots, Shannon. You sent me those screenshots. And that's the reason that I let Miss Johnson go. That's the reason that I stopped trusting Miss Johnson, which I didn't trust her to begin with, but at that point, I let her know exactly how I felt. No, I'm not going to trust you. You're fucking slandering my name in Facebook groups while pretending to be my friend. So the first thing she did is go try to turn Miss Shelley against me. Exactly the thing that she was bitching at Shannon about. Shannon, you're trying to turn Sean against me. Why are you trying to do that? And then she goes to Miss Shelley and does exactly the same thing that she just bitched at Shannon about. Imagine that. After this woman has been bashing me in Natalie Bollinger groups. Now with Shannon trying to explain this to her when she's busy talking the library thing over and over and over again because she's drunk. She gets very emotional when she's drunk. I admitted all of the things that I did wrong because I feel that that's fair and equal. However, if people are going to bitch at me about things that I didn't do wrong, I'm going to defend myself. That's fair and equal. And I will give people a chance to defend themselves, provided they choose to be honest and choose to hear me as well. With Shannon, she didn't hear me. Now, she's reasonably honest, but there's a few more of those little things in there where she definitely gets a lot worse. And that's because she's drunk and emotional, and I needed her sober. That's the problem with substances. You're not rational human beings. You're not. When you're on methamphetamines or heroin or alcohol or whatever, you're not a rational human being. On marijuana, it's debatable. I know a lot of people who are still rational human beings when they're smoking pot. They're just a lot slower. Now, as far as autism goes, it's different from alcoholism because those emotions are based on something real. Something very real. As soon as people find out that you're autistic, they blame everything on you. Their alcoholism is your fault. Their drug use is your fault. Everything is your fault. Shannon doesn't blame me for her alcoholism. She doesn't blame me for her drinking. That's a lot different from my family. They blame whoever's handy. My mom mostly blamed me and my older brother. Shortly after I turned 18, I went to live with my Uncle Matt. My Uncle Matt wanted to know why I was there instead of at my mom's. And I explained it to him, and he said to me, "You know, that's exactly what your older brother said." Well, yeah, he lived with her too. Shannon's not a bad person, not at all. The reason I explained that mask is because it creeped me out. Those things creep me out. Like being at Atlanta and Amanda's and hearing them talking about how they would shoot somebody. And being at Candace's and hearing about how she would put a 45 between somebody's eyeballs. That shit creeps me the fuck out. Especially after finding out that Natalie had been killed. I mean, yeah, that's gonna be fucking even extra creepy to me. Most of the people who offered to help me that I didn't know found out about me because they're infatuated with death. People like this Kara Johnson Miles lady, people like Shannon Alvarado, people like Stephanie Brooke Freeman, people like Sally Treon. That's the thing. Those people scare the fuck out of me because all of them have severe mental issues. All of them. But having mental issues doesn't make you a bad person. A lot of the stuff that I deal with because I'm autistic, that I try to explain to people, and they tell me I'm not allowed to be that way. I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed. They all want me to be like them. Well, I can't make myself be like you. I'm different. Either you need to accept me or you need to kill me, because continually punishing me because you don't want to understand, well, that's very different. Me, I try to understand all of you. And you guys are allowed to get angry. You're allowed to get sad. You're allowed to find a woman attractive or a man attractive without being treated like shit for it. Me, even if that's not even close to what's on my mind, I get punished because people think it might be what's on my mind. And then they try to throw that in my face because they're emotional. Like Amanda Engeline did, trying to say hurtful things, using Natalie to do so. The same hurtful things that they threw at me when I left Montana last year. I'm pacing because I'm afraid to speak. I'm afraid to speak because Lana's screaming at me because she's been rejected sexually. And I'm a bad person somehow for saying it. I was pacing because I was afraid to speak. So I'm a bad person for that. Video games. These help people who are autistic. Not just people who are autistic, anybody. It's your downtime, whether it's Game of Thrones or Wheel of Fortune or the Orville or Star Trek or a video game like Star Trek Online. Although the one up there was actually Rome Total War. I enjoy the strategy portion of it. I play it on maximum. I play it on the toughest mode. Playing online against other players is a lot more difficult, though. But it helps me. And I didn't have access to that while I was up there, not until my last few days there. And I needed it to help me calm down, to help me filter and process what was going on, especially since I'm too afraid to speak. With Shannon, the things that she said a lot meaner things, and she threw a lot of stuff in my face as if it were fact. Like she says, let me find it, that I hate women and it's obvious. Is this one it?
You have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not going to, yeah. Just because it doesn't show doesn't mean somebody's not, okay? I'm not going to talk anymore about this dynamic, but enough about this shit. Like, I tried to help you, and, you know, like, I let you stay here. I was nice to you. I never got mad at you. I paid for things for you. When you left, you just fucking turned into this fucking asshole. Oh, yada, yada, yada about me. It's like, the fuck, Sean? I was good to you. Sorry my boyfriend and I had issues. We hadn't had any until we had a little argument tonight. But you know what? That's life. People fucking argue. And you know what? You should not.
Now, at the beginning of that, I'm still trying to figure out what the hell she's saying. I'm going to pause this to find the one I'm talking about in specific, though.
You need rehab too. You need some, not for any alcohol or drug problem, but you need counseling. Seriously. You need something because you're... I'm done with it. Look, dude. You know what? Dude, you hate women, and it's obvious. So get over it. You know, Natalie's gone, and I'm really sorry. If I didn't care about you, I wouldn't have fucking tried to be your friend from the beginning. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't let you come here, Sean. I didn't even know you were coming. I get this call. You're on your way to California. I picked you up. You said you didn't even think I'd pick you up. When you got here, you said after, I don't know how long it'd been, maybe a couple weeks, no one's ever been that nice to you aside from Tammy.
So that's the thing, is that while I was there, I was a completely different person. I was quiet. I had to be. I didn't want to get... Well, that right there is what Rick gets every night. Not literally every night, but most nights. She goes off, and she goes off, and she gets accusational. And that's the thing. She didn't get accusational like that towards me because I didn't confront her about it. The 2 times I tried to talk to her about her alcoholism, she did get like that to me. But I let it go, and I moved on. Because I was in a subservient situation. Now, as far as me going to California, yes, I went to California. I invited myself to California. I did not invite myself to her house. And she did buy things for me. I didn't ask her to buy things for me, but she did. Now, it wasn't like she bought me a brand new TV or a brand new vehicle or some big expensive thing. It was just little stuff, you know? But the fact is, because she's drunk and because she's angry, she throws that back in my face, things that she did for me that I didn't ask for. Now, there are things that I asked for while I was there, like a sandwich. Man's got to eat, right? But it wasn't my intent to stay there for 2 months. I didn't know that Graham wasn't going to be able to keep his word. I don't hate women. I'm scared of them, especially women who are on drugs or alcohol. The reason for that is because they do get very emotional. But at the same time, I'm afraid of men for the same reason when they're on substances. Women get mean vocally. Men get mean physically. Which is why I am more of a woman than a man. I get mean vocally. I give people back what it is that they give to me. With Shannon, while I was at her house, it was always listen to Shannon time. Always. And I had to take it because I was in a subservient position. But when I was gone, I didn't have to be. I had hoped while I was there that she could find the time to sober up and help and to keep her word. And I got screenshots of her word as well, so that it's not like I'm saying things that didn't happen. I've got her words to verify it. But the point is, if you guys go back through to the video recordings with me and Shannon, and they're all still here on my YouTube, it shows that she said that I wasn't like this when I was there. And it's because I wasn't. I had to be subservient. I had to put up with it. I had to endure it. And with her being like that, being accusational towards Rick every night, you're cheating on me, you're cheating on me. I can tell because there's 15 minutes on your phone where you were not where you were supposed to be according to your Uber. Like, oh my God, Shannon. This is supposed to be your boyfriend. If you don't trust him, why are you dating? And for me, trying to explain to you guys that the rules are different from you than they are from me, because I am always in a subservient position. Always. I just have to take it. And then these people don't want to understand that the things that they're doing are shutting me down. The fact that she's being irrational because she's drunk towards her boyfriend. Being accusational because she's drunk towards her boyfriend. Or she's crying for hours on end because she's drunk and emotional. And she needs to be held. She needs a hug. She needs this. She needs that. I shouldn't say this and that. I should stick to specifics, right? I agree. That's the thing about accepting people's help, being in subservient positions and people not keeping their word. I would have loved for Graham to keep his word and to send that stuff before I was 6 weeks into dealing with Shannon being like that towards her boyfriend every single night. Not every single night. That, again, it wasn't every single night. And I do try to catch myself when I say things like that, because it wasn't every night. It was just most nights. And there was a week there where she was sober, a whole week. But she was very, what would the word be? She was anxious. She was very anxious. Basically, she was having a panic attack because she couldn't have her alcohol for that whole week. So that whole week that she was sober, I actually ended up listening to her just as much as when she was drinking. But for that whole week, it was even more of a pain, because not only is she snapping at people over even less stuff, but it's the fact that she has all of that anxiety all at once, and it stayed there for the whole week. And I'm sure that was difficult for her. But for me, I have that anxiety because she's screaming. She has that anxiety because she doesn't have her alcohol. I have that anxiety because I can't see my loved ones. She has that anxiety because she doesn't have the alcohol. I have that anxiety because I feel like shit because I'm eating her food. I'm not able to take care of myself. And I'm afraid that she's going to throw this back in my face later on, like everyone does. Literally everyone? No. There are lots of people that did not throw in my face the help that they gave me. Dan Favorite sure did, though. Because I had screamed at Shannon way earlier in the year because she was drunk and talking over me and talking over me. Now, if you can imagine, after our third phone call, that's when I yelled at Shannon. That was last year. The first 2 phone calls, she was talking over me the whole time. The third phone call, I finally screamed at her. Now imagine that I'm in this situation where I'm wanting to scream, please stop, please stop, please stop, please stop. And I can't. Because then I won't have access to the mail when Graham does finally get off his ass to send that stuff. Is Graham a bad person? No. But he didn't keep his word. He made promises that he didn't keep. I made decisions based on those promises because I couldn't do those things myself. I couldn't send that package to myself. And that's the thing, is that I made decisions based on the fact that I needed help. And people offered to help. They offered me in specific the help that I needed, the help that I asked for. But then they didn't come through. With Shannon, before I ended up at her place, I knew that she was just going to talk over me. I mean, that was our experience prior to me going to California. What I didn't know is how verbally abusive she is, or how extreme bipolar she is when she's been drinking. The way that she was towards her boyfriend while I was there. Sure, it's not the whole world's business. But at the same time, it's the reason that I was shut down while I was there. When I say it's the environment, I mean it. When I say the environment includes the people, I mean it. Now, these are all things that hopefully I'll remember in the morning to take the videos down on YouTube from professionals and people with these conditions and post them in the comments below. That way people will hopefully watch them. I doubt it. I doubt most people can watch one of my videos without getting bored or getting frustrated and turning it off. I know that when I listen to Mike Boudette's friggin' segments, it makes me want to eat a bullet.